Hello, my sexy slaves. How are you doing? How are you doing? Sexy meaning you are smart, you are excellent, you are excelling without the E, because we don't need that around here. That's what makes us different, guys. And I'm talking to you guys. Yes, you guys, you slayers. You slaying in your houses. You're slaying in your businesses. You're slaying in your schools. You're slaying in your universities. You're slaying in your colleges. You're slaying in your work. You're slaying in your businesses again, like I said. You're slaying in your conglomerates. You're slaying in your empires. You're slaying in that land that you want to penetrate with those gifts and talents that you've got. And you are slaying in those vision boards that you visioned from that December or January till now. You're slaying in them, guys. I'm Sylvia. How are you guys doing? I'm here to give you the psychosexuals of episode 10 of Readytolove. Gonna get into it. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I had to kind of put this bit in at the front. Yeah, so you're gonna see that I didn't have a scarf on. And then I do have a scarf because, yeah, I got cold. And then I remembered I didn't do an intro properly. I didn't introduce myself. So I'm introducing myself while I'm saying goodbye because I've finished, guys. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and I finally finished. But you're going to hear me saying 2:30 all throughout because it took me half an hour to do this. I'm so happy with myself. Readytolove. It is 2:30 in the morning. I went out, as you can see, because I had decoration on my face. I thought, let me do this when I got home. And I got home very early. Got home about 11:30. And me, I fall asleep. And I'm now awake. I'm not gonna lie. So this is gonna be a real quick one, guys, because yeah, it is. Anywho, let me get straight into it. And no music. Let me get my music and I'll be back. Yeah, I'm still gonna do music. I can't just be like that. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, guys, the music is coming. There's a little bit of a slight interlude of a advert interlude, but it's coming. I'm not even sure if you guys know the song, but I mean, I care. I'm not gonna lie to you. It speaks to my heart first and foremost. Yeah, it speaks to my heart. And secondly, I love the song. How about that? How about that? It's an oldie but a real goodie, and the sentiment is still as it is. Yeah, at 2:30 in the morning. Hey. I got work to do. I got a job, babe. I got work to do. Okay, but it takes a lot of money to make it. Look, 38%, I gotta hurry up. Tory went home, and yeah, as I did guess, I was a bit sad, but it is what it is. So anyway, Sabrina and Demetrius were talking quite intently after that. But the whole point of the matter is Sabrina was kind of talking for the both of them, but really talking to Demetrius about what she wants from him, but not being able to say what she wants from him, so making it seem, or generalizing it to make it seem like she's talking about herself as well. So basically she was saying to him,
listen, we need to do this a bit more. If we want to get closer, we need to be able to contact each other a bit more. We need to be able to be doing what they say, what we say we want from now and not in the future kind of like thing. We need to be reciprocal.
The English.
We need to be reciprocal in terms of messaging each other and all of this stuff.
But in the confessional, she was like, yeah, I'm talking to him, basically, is how I can put it, and that's how I put it. To be fair, a few scenes afterwards, you did see them in the jacuzzi getting a lot more closer, a lot more affectionate. I'm guessing he's reciprocating what she said. So let's see. Carmen and Donovan were in the jacuzzi, talking about taking it to the next stage. Carmen felt a little bit shy around Donovan. That kind of shows that, you know, as much as she's like a very astute woman, or being the businesswoman that she is, that doesn't mean, like, you know, she doesn't get those butterflies when she's feeling somebody, because it seemed like she was. Carmen also says that Sabrina is definitely a good girl. Yeah. Sabrina's a good girl. She can't knock her. But what she can say is that she's a better woman for Donovan. Yeah, she can say that. And Donovan was all nuzzling into her shoulder. So let's see. And obviously when someone likes someone, or when people like each other, it's not just the, you know, mental that's kind of getting in tune with one another is also the physical and the need to want to be next to each other. And I think I explained to you before, it's the limerance stage. The limerance stage of a relationship is when all the rationality of knowing somebody goes out the window. So it don't matter that you need to go to work. It don't matter that you've got things to do. It don't matter that you had plans with your friends. It don't matter that you had work to do at home. It don't matter that you've got a responsibility that you've got to look to. Nah, you want to see that person that you are besotted with in the first few weeks of being together, you know what I'm saying? And that's more or less the honeymoon period, and that's when all the different rationalities of being with somebody kind of goes out the window up until that time that you know.
But you know what? Yeah, it was great getting to know this person from a not so nonsensical, from a non-caring about my other responsibilities point of view. It was great. I loved it. I loved the fact that I cancelled on a lot of friends to see this person. It was great that I was able to kind of put things on hold to see this person. But firstly, I've still got those things to do now because I haven't been doing it because I've come to see this person all this time. And secondly, my friends are getting a bit peed off thinking, oh, so how you going on? Now you've got a person in life you don't want to be with us. I've realised, you know what, I am a different person to this person that I've been besotted with, and I think we need to put some boundaries in place because we're different people, we've got different needs and different wants.
That's what tends to happen sometimes when you have been so engrossed with somebody for such a long time. And there is a few modalities and there are a few approaches to relationship that kind of get back into you the need for you to know that you are different. There's something called differentiation, something that the Gottmans kind of brought into the mix when it comes to relationships and realize, and that's what is really needed in a relationship to kind of make it a stronger bond, as opposed to being so codependent on somebody or expecting someone to be in a certain way for you to be yourself. It's good to know that you can be different, meaning you can have different friends, you can have different hobbies, you can have different interests, but you can also be able to build a life of liking things with somebody as well, but then going back from time to time to the things you like and enjoying yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I gave you some psychosexuals. I just dropped it in there. Yeah, that's what I done. I used what happened with Carmen and Donovan nuzzling into her shoulder to tell you that that could be the start of the Limerance stage for the both of them. Okay, you're welcome, guys. Anywho, Dakiya and Clifton had that talk, and that talk of, I guess, closure, because it wasn't closure before. And I'm so glad that Dakiya was able to kind of say to Clifton,
you know what? I felt some type of way when I came in and I saw you and Joy, saw that you had put your bags together, saw that you brought your onesies together, just saw that you lot had just made plans to really do romance when you lot got here. And like, it would have just been nice for you to tell me that, you know what, I mean, I feel you like that or something, you know, because I really did like you.
And, you know, I can tell Clifton really did actually like her as well, and he was able to take accountability, and that's what I really respected from him. And yeah, it was just a kind of closure. You could tell that, yeah, that's it. It ain't happening between Dakiya and me, Clifton, because you know what? Dakiya went for a bit of a date. I'll talk about that in a little while. After that, you can see Sabrina and Demetrius and Clifton and Joy in the jacuzzi, and lo and behold, yeah, Clifton's, yeah,
I've done what I should have done. Me, I tell Dakiya me now I want her.
And yeah, Joy and Clifton kiss, which, I mean, it's bound to happen, so it happened. Like I was saying, Demetrius and Sabrina were getting a lot more cozier and being a lot more physical. And then in the confessional, Sabrina was like,
yeah, this is all nice and dandy. You can be being physical with me, but me still have to think about me and Donovan and where that's going to go.
So I guess she's still keeping her cards close to her, which is understandable, but it doesn't seem like she's telling Demetrius that. But we'll see. Tina finally shows up. For what reason, me no know. She should have just kept to the fact that her car had broke down and stayed in her yard, because she came all the way to where they were at the last hour before they must pack them bags and go home, just to say that she hasn't got a connection with anybody. What was the point? You could have just called them instead of not picking up your phone. Like, and then like, she spoke to Donovan, and Donovan was like,
I'm not being funny, but firstly, why did you come all the way here to come and tell any of us any of this?
first and foremost, she took him away to talk to him, and then secondly, he was like, yeah,
You ain't got no one here, so.
And then Carmen went to speak to her, and the same thing. Carmen was right when she said basically that she's come here, she's blaming everybody else about not having the connection with them, but she's not taking accountability of her actually not really wanting to be ready to be loved or to love, basically. And then in confessionals, she's like, oh, you know, she didn't have any connections, and then she started giving excuses, saying, oh, you know, her work, her children, her this, that, which is understandable. There's no one, but it's just the way she went around about the houses just to say, you know what, me now ready to love. And anyway, she was out of it, basically. It's very awkward when she came in, like, people were like, why are you here? Paul didn't want nothing to do with her. Donovan was confused, and that was that. Basically, Dakiya and Paul, I mean, I guess the onion of Clifton had completely been peeled from Dakiya's eyes. And so she thought, you know what, she might as well just see how things go with Paul. Paul was taking Dakiya out because he thought that, you know, up until now, she's been cool, but she's been kind of a closed book. And he wanted to know if there could be something potentially there or not. So, hey. Girl, you're looking good. You keep that cooking good. Last thing for sure. Anyway, yeah, so basically Paul wanted to take her out, and Dakiya was being really vulnerable with him, saying that, you know,
the reasons why I've been so closed off is because I've been hurt. And
like, I guess from what happened with Clifton, she's making sense because it seems like she's had that type of an experience before, maybe potentially in a longer term relationship from what I can gauge, but, you know, she had felt that she could be vulnerable with Clifton, and that didn't happen. So it's understandable, and I guess Paul understood her from that point of view. And it seems like they started to kind of really mesh, and they seemed that they want to do things. And so let's see. And then Joy and Clifton again were really excited to see each other. They'd gone on some sort of a dinner or something, and like Joy just jumped into her cuddly teddy bear's body and was just hanging off him and hugging him, and it was nice. I mean, to have somebody, which was Clifton, say, you know, I've got tunnel vision, I'm just thinking about you. And I was going to ask to myself, what is their meaning of tunnel vision? And luckily in confessionals, Joy was like, tunnel vision to her means
he's focused, he's got blinders on, he's got one clear goal, and you know what, we both on that same page that Clifton is talking about.
And then Clifton started talking about being more consistent, and that's all that needs to be done to continue the closeness that they felt. And it just sounds like, you know, this is quite a promising relationship, so I'm really looking forward to see how things go. And, you know, Clifton again and Joy were on the same page because it was described by Clifton that their relationship is very
natural, organic, and Joy completes his sentences, and it's very intuitive.
Joy was like, oh,
this feeling I have for you is more than liking.
And it just sounded like they were quite wary of saying the word love, but they were also able to define what they feel. And Joy was saying, oh, you know,
imagine finding someone that we have mutual love, mutual care, you can see a future with them, they're humorous, or you're humorous, or you have humor.
It's basically both of them dipping into the pool of their relationship to give humor, to give love, to give care. And, you know, that is, to me, that's their meaning of togetherness. Does that make sense to you guys? The fact that, you know, they can put a meaning in how they feel. And that's another thing that's really good, to be able to define what a relationship makes you feel like as opposed to what it looks like on the surface. So if you're in a relationship and the relationship makes you feel, if we're going to go the societally constructed way, it makes you feel stable, makes you feel secure, makes you feel happy. And it's quite sweet to see how close they're getting, and both of them having that realization that they're on the same page. Because they started talking about farts. I won't go too deep into it, but they were talking about bum noises. Yeah, they were. I know, guys, I know my breasts are really making an appearance today. I understand I'm wearing like bustier tanner like thing. I've got matching jeans on as well, but I've loosened it. I'm at home. You didn't have to see that. I didn't have to show you that bit, but let me just give you a bit. I'll put some pictures on Instagram. Go and have a look at what I was decorating myself with today, because I ain't got time to show you right now. But I know I look good. Thanks for recognising that as well. Thanks, I really appreciate it. So there was that. They then went for brunch all together. Went to meet Tommy, and Tommy was just speaking to everybody about how they're feeling about their connection, stuff like that, which I don't remember them doing before, like in front of each other. I don't remember that. But anyway, Tommy initially was asking Joy how she feels, and she's like, great, basically. She was saying that everything's fine, and then Tommy was asking Clifton. Clifton was like, yeah, everything's cool. It's just this fact that, you know, she's still friends with her exes, and he has a bit of a problem with that. And from how he's speaking, I'm not sure if he's speaking of having been in an experience like that with being an ex and not letting go, or having an ex that wouldn't let go of Clifton, or having an ex-girlfriend who's in the same predicament, having an ex that is a friend. Do you get what I mean? What is his angst when it comes to that? I just wonder. But yeah, apart from that, they seem to be all right. They were telling, you know, Tommy that, yeah.
Yeah, it's all good enough. Don't worry about us. Just don't worry about us.
Guys, I kind of want to know, because of what Clifton, or how Clifton feels in regards to, you know, exes and being still having some sort of a connection or friendship with an ex. Do you have friendship with your exes? What is your relationships with your exes? Do you ever think it's wise to have a relationship with your ex? So what do you think? Comment down below, guys. Do you speak to your exes? Let me just put it simple to you. Do you speak to your exes? Yes, and give me a bit of a description. No, and give me a bit of description. I want to hear from you guys, because why not? Let's share minds. Let's share ideas. It's not just one way that fits all, and it shouldn't be, guys. It shouldn't be. Why should it be? So just because somebody wouldn't talk to their ex doesn't mean another person shouldn't talk to their ex, because there's different surroundings as to the reasons why they broke up. There's different surroundings as to the reason why it didn't work. So why not? But then there's other people like, no, why am I speaking to my ex for 3 months? What benefit does that have of mine? Tell me. Guys, comment down below. Okay, I said all of that to say I want to hear from you guys, okay? All right, thanks, guys. And then Paul was saying that, you know, he really does like Carmen's drive, but also he likes Dakia's uniqueness. But then he just started calling Carmen out and saying stuff like, oh, she's not very intentional. And I just thought it was weird, because Carmen was sitting right there and Carmen was not having none of it. Carmen was dropping receipts like,
you're not going to come here and make me look unintentional when you've been saying that Dakiya ain't the one. You've been saying Dakiya can't even make you get aroused. You've been saying that Dakiya isn't, like, you know, doing the do for you. So what are you talking about?
And Paul was like,
that's lies. How dare you come here and lie about me? That's not true. Yeah, I said a few things, something like along those lines, but not exactly. Not exactly.
But then Dakiya was like,
you know what? Let me not lie to you. Me not care what Carmen says, because we not care for anything that comes out of her mouthpiece, because we not believe her.
So there's basically no love lost between Dakiya and Carmen, and Dakiya doesn't believe Carmen anyway. Anyway, Sabrina started talking about Demetrius and saying that, you know, she likes him and them things there, but there's just certain things about him
that I'm not really sure that can run with me. Is
basically what Sabrina was saying, and one of them was this submissive woman thing that his friend mentioned. Okay, his friend. And as Demetrius was saying,
listen, that's my friend that mentioned that. That weren't me, so you can't put that on me. You know, you can't say that's what I want.
I'm kind of chilly, man. I'm not gonna lie, and it's not about always putting on the heater these days, if you know what I mean, guys, with these hikes and them things there. Let me just put my scarf on. I'm nearly done now anyway, guys. But yeah, let me give you a bit more colour. What do you mean? Yeah, this is how I went out, yeah. And I had a nice, delicious, fitted navy blue long jacket is what I was wearing, or your long coat. And I went to enjoy, and I'm back, guys. Anyways, 3 o'clock, let me get on to the last thing that I've got to talk about. So Donovan was talking about the fact that he feels like the strongest connection he's got is with Carmen, and he wasn't really feeling the fact that Sabrina like snapped at him back at the thingy. But there was 2 evidentials of the reports of what happened. One was that Donovan thinks that Sabrina was saying to him like, oh,
you can go home anytime, so you better buck your ideas up. But
Sabrina was like, you know, she was saying it in jest. It was jokey. They were playing, and she said it. So it's like, you know, how people interpret the approach that someone has with them can be different depending on their attachment styles, depending on how they are used to being spoken to, depending on their socialization. It all depends on what their past experiences have been when something like that has happened before and the meanings they've put to it. Donovan has put that as a snapback. Donovan's put that it was a bit of a disrespect. Donovan's put that it was
like, who the heck are you talking to?
And Sabrina was like,
it was a joke. I didn't mean it like say I was being rude or anything like that. I still respect you.
And Donovan was like,
nah, you don't respect me by talking to me like that.
So like I said, it's the different meanings of how you see approaches basically. But that was it, guys. Guys, comment, like, share, subscribe. You know where to find me, guys. Sex Talk with Sylvs. Sex spelled S-E-C-K-S and Talk with Sylvs. Instagram, TikToks, Facebooks, LinkedIn and Twitter, guys. And obviously here on YouTube. And I love you guys and I'm going to leave you. And I'm going to see you in my next episode of doing the psychosexual. I'm going to go to bed. Good night, guys. Good night. I'm just happy I finished within half an hour. I'm just happy. Take care. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.